Welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to do a quick, easy, and super simple home decor DIY. First thing you're going to need is some containers. This is a great way to recycle maybe some old drink bottles or anything else you have around the house. Just get creative. I also use this big Tide Pods plastic container. You're also going to need some olive oil, some glitter or paint if you're not much of a glitter person. You're also going to need some glue and a sponge brush or a paintbrush. I suggest using something thinner than tacky glue because it was a little bit difficult to work with. You'll also need some tape, a ruler. If you have a flexible fabric ruler, that'll work a lot easier than this. And you'll also need a large bowl. So the first thing you're going to do is remove the labels off your containers. Now this can be a little bit tricky. This one was plastic, so luckily it came off in one piece, but you know, just do your best to get everything off. And yes, I will be showing you guys how to get rid of that ugly, horrid, sticky residue that we all hate when we're trying to repurpose our containers. Now to remove this sticky residue, first thing I suggest is soaking your container in hot soapy water. And then this is my favorite method. It is not the quickest, but it worked the best for me. I'm taking some olive oil and I am putting it on a washcloth, and then I'm just rubbing that, you know, in little circular or up and down motions all over the sticky residue. This was not the fastest method, I will admit, but it takes a little bit of elbow grease and it really turns out the best in my opinion. I just kind of sat down, watched some YouTube videos, and went to town on this. Now this doesn't really look like it's working very well, and that's due to the fact that there is the label from the back that has residue that's showing through. Another method I heard of that was popular when I researched this was peanut butter. This didn't work as well for me, but that's because the label on this plastic container was awful to remove. Now you're going to use your ruler to decide how far up on the container you want your glitter or paint to come. And you're going to take a small piece of tape, just a small one, and you're going to measure how far up you want your glitter or paint to come. I decided to do 2.5 inches on these glass bottles, and you're going to lay your small piece of tape down, getting the very bottom of it as even and straight as possible. And you're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side of the bottle, making sure it's the same exact measurement so it's perfectly straight when we're all finished. Now I'm taking a longer piece of tape and I'm going to connect the two smaller pieces of tape, if that makes sense. Hopefully the visual will help you out. You can take just a really long piece of tape and eyeball how even it goes and wrap it straight around, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I did it this way just to be extra sure that the lines would be even, straight, and that my 3 bottles would look really uniform when they're sitting next to each other. Now once you're done, you should have a few pieces of tape wrapping all the way around the bottle. Now I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to squirt it on a small patch, apparently in the shape of a Christmas tree, and I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to spread the glue out over the container to make a thinner, more even layer. Once I've done that, I'm going to take my glitter and dump it straight onto the glue. Now notice I have my big bowl underneath to catch all the glitter to make sure I can save it for another project, and also to make sure that I'm not making a mess. Now I'm patting with my fingers the glue into the adhesive to make sure it sticks a lot better. And now I'm just going to pat off the excess into the bowl, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on another patch right next to it. So we're working in smaller sections just to make sure that the glue doesn't dry and that we don't have any bald spots. Now when you're doing a section, make sure you're really getting into the section next to it, into the seam I guess you could call it. It's okay if you drag some glitter with it, but it's better than having a few bald streaks down your container. And I'm just doing the same thing in every patch, just dumping on some glitter, patting it with my fingers, then dumping off the excess and tapping it a little bit, and I'm just going to do that all the way around till I reach the other side. Then I'm going to set these aside and just let them dry. This type of glue makes it easy to know when to dry because it goes from white to clear. Then I'm going to mix glue and water together. Mine was way too thin, so just gradually add a little bit of water at a time to your glue, and take your sponge and pat that solution on top of the glitter. Once it's dry, of course, this is going to help create a sealant so that all the glitter stays in place on the container and you don't have a ring around your container on the surface that you decide to set it on. Again, let this dry for about at least an hour, and then you're going to peel the tape off and you should be left with a nice, clean, crisp line. And this is the final product of my two types of containers. I decided to do a black glitter on my plastic one. Now this was super simple. I didn't even have to spend any money to go buy extra supplies. This is all stuff I already have and that you probably had too. So if you guys want to see another DIY from me, just let me know, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun to make. I think they turned out amazing and fun and glamorous. I just love them, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye bye!